The average person spends about 4 hours a day on their phone. And when you add it up, that's about 60 days a year or 2 full months. If you're looking to wean yourself off a little bit, we're getting some tips this morning.
The book from health and science journalist Catherine Price is How to Break Up with Your Phone, revised edition, the 30-day digital detox plan. She published the first edition in 2018, but a lot has changed since then. Catherine joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, what has changed since 2018?
Oh man, so much has changed. I think we know a lot more about the effects that our smartphones and social media are having on us, and also AI.
Oh,
Just-
sure.
That's the truth. Well, how you say you can actually use technology to help break up with your technology. How do you do that?
Well, a number of ways. You can actually use technology to help you just become more mindful about how you're spending your time in general. If you use the sight and the feel of your phone in your hand as a reminder to check in, to ask yourself if you're spending your attention and time the way you want to. And there's also a lot of app blockers, both physical devices and apps, that will help you set limits in ways that are much more effective than the native tools that are available within Apple and Android operating systems.
Is a mental addiction a fair comparison to a physical addiction like tobacco or nicotine? Is that a fair comparison, and one in which maybe the government needs to step in?
I don't think that you can say it's the same thing as as a chemical addiction such as tobacco or a drug addiction. But with that said, smartphones and apps are specifically designed to activate the dopamine systems in our brains, which is the same system that's involved in addictions. And I think that we already know that there's such a thing as a behavioral addiction, gambling being the first behavior to have been classified as such. So I think it's a matter of time before we recognize officially that there is an addiction that has to do with smartphones. But I would say in the meantime, I don't think the term matters as much as the fact that they're definitely designed to be addictive, and we're engaging with them and spending time in a way on our smartphones and social media in ways that resemble addictive behaviors.
And I don't think people, there's a lot of talk about kids being on phones too early. And what do you do? Their friends are all on them. I mean, it's a horrible thing that the social media is doing to young people. But what do you do?
I think that we need to do two things. As parents, we need to feel empowered to take action. It is hard, but we should be changing the ways we approach smartphones and social media and kids. I would suggest not giving your child a smartphone until at least high school, keeping them off social media until at least 16, and instead starting with a basic phone. When your kid actually needs a way to communicate with you, you could have a family loaner phone, just a flip phone that you can lend out as necessary. When it comes time for their own phone, get them a basic phone. There's a lot of these on the market that look like smartphones, but they don't have access to the internet or to social media. And then only when they're old enough do we begin to introduce them to the full-fledged versions. On the other hand of the equation, we need to actually empower kids by helping them understand the business models behind the companies that make some of the most problematic apps, and understand how every minute you spend on social media is a minute you are spending making money for social media companies. I think that if kids fully recognize the ways in which they're being manipulated and taken advantage of, they themselves might decide that they don't want to give their time away to the tech companies in the way that they currently are.
It's the tech companies will say, well, it's like a town square and it's free speech and everybody gets to have their say. But in reality, they bake the algorithms to, like you say, really get us addicted to the things that we need to see. Is that crossing a line? Does there need to be government regulation here?
I think that certainly should be on the table, because it's very clear that the tech companies are not going to take action on their own in a manner that is sufficient to protect our children. I don't think most parents understand how many risks they are exposing their children to when they give them a smartphone. We spend way too much energy protecting our kids in real life and not enough energy recognizing what's happening online. If you give your kid access to a smartphone, you're giving them access to the entire internet, and perhaps more importantly, you're giving everyone on the internet access to your child. It's alarming.
I mean, it's just, you say there's a tip to get you to use your phone less. It involves a rubber band. What is that?
So part of the reason we are on our phones so much is we don't even notice that we pick them up. So I have an exercise I call WWW that's meant to help people notice when they pick up their phone and decide if they want to use it. Step one is put something around your phone like a rubber band or a hair tie, so that when you pick up your phone, your brain has a moment of thinking, why the heck is there a rubber band around my phone? And then the next step is to ask yourself 3 Ws: what for, why now, what else? What did you pick up your phone for in that moment? Did you have a reason? Why now? Why did you do it right this second? Was there an actual time-sensitive reason? Or, and this is more common, was there an emotional reason? Like you were lonely or anxious or bored? And then you go to the third step, what else? What else could you do instead to give your brain the reward it's seeking, like connection or a distraction or whatever it may be, without looking at your phone? Maybe you want to do nothing and just give your brain a chance to relax. And then you might also decide, you know what, I actually do want to be on my phone. And if you reach that conclusion, that's totally fine, as long as it's the result of an intentional choice.
Yeah.
So that's the rubber band and WWW is just a system I came up with to help people make sure that they're spending time on their phones because they want to, not because they've been tricked into doing so.
Well, the book is How to Break Up with Your Phone, revised edition, the 30-day digital detox plan. For more, you can check out KatherinePrice.com and follow her on the socials. Thanks, Catherine.
Thanks, Catherine.
Thank you.